It is still this morning on ITV, bringing us to another talking point where we'll be looking at Nigeria's economy. Focus on Naira fluctuation. You know, some time ago, it moved from 750, 760, and then it was just going up to 900 to 990. It just stabilized there for some while, and after that, it moved above 1,000 naira to about 1,060 naira. Then it came down to 800 naira, and Nigerians were happy. Come on, this is working, and Naira is getting stronger. It's getting stronger for that particular, I think, a day or two. Then after that, it returns back to status quo. Why is it so? What can be done to address this issue? I have with me an economist and also United Nations Peace Ambassador, Dr. Nelson Ogbemudia. Very good morning to you. Good morning, Mr. Kadiri. Yeah, I know you followed through the elections.
Yes, I did.
It was one funny one, and a bit of voter apathy. Well, that's not why we are here. That's on a lighter note. The economy as it stands today, what is your comment on it?
We're in trouble. We're in trouble. This nation is going through a state of irredeemability. We're in trouble. Our attitude, economic-wise, our attitude towards the economy is bad in itself. There's no patriotism from anyone in any quarter. I want to repeat that clearly. There's no patriotism from any Nigeria for Nigeria. We have been funding individuals, consumptions of individuals, not industries. My heart bleeds when the governor of Edo State prophetically made some declarations like 2-3 years ago and warned monies will be printed and be given as allocation, and then they go and share this money. No, what we call economy is not money, it's activities, productive activities, buttons, toothpicks. If they can be imported into this country, then we're in a very big trouble. The oil, now we're having oil price shock globally. And we also understand the activities of these Niger Delta boys. The vandalization of pipelines. It has gone beyond vandalization. It is now a situation where these boys now have their own refineries where they do local productions and send it out. And we have all manner of activities, crimes going on that is being looked upon as if it is economy. No, it is not. The last primaries that I had last year, we all saw the rot in the system. It's regrettable, it's painful. Dollar was being, our politics was being dollarized. Monies were moving from one hotel rooms to another, to individuals, to the point we had $15,000, $20,000. The highest bidders were in their height of $30,000 to people so that they can win their primaries and stand for election. These situations are not very good for us. I was telling somebody last week here, I said, we have more dollars in Nigeria than in America.
But there's no record to show that.
No record, yes. The activities of these Yao boys, money comes through there. Diasporas, repatriations of their funds, money comes through there. Then the sales of our oil, money comes through there. Then individuals too. The demand on dollar is high. CBN cannot fund it. I read in the papers last week here, and I want to believe it's true. Somebody went to CBN under Mr. Godwin Emefiele's administration, collected $3.8 billion, gave Naira equivalent of $1.9 billion. At CBN rate, $1.9 billion the Naira value has not been given up until date. And the person is running around, Mr. President, for soft landing. This is the rot we have found in our economy, in our country. This is heartbreaking. And to say that we're having a surge in unemployment.
Yeah, but how did we get to this point where dollar become, what is sought after? In the time past, we know the Naira, has more value than the dollar. I read in a paper in 1973, I think it was a lawn tennis tournament, and there was a prize rate there for Naira is 10,200 for first prize. Then its equivalent is $13,100. So at that time, 1973, for a lawn tennis tournament, it clearly shows that Naira was more valuable than the dollar. So how did we get to this point? How did we crash?
I want to say here, our behavioral attitude, our value system. I think I saw similar document you are making references to. Then understand that we had Peugeot, we had Volkswagen, we had Bata, we had most of this organization, UAC, these were organizations then that what gives value to your currency is your competitive advantage, your leverage on your opportunities, what you are able to do, what you are able to manufacture, especially commerce, production, your output, your contribution, not just nationally, also within the region and in the globe. These are facts that gives value. But again, if you bring 1,000 Naira now and put on the table, and you bring $10 and put on the table, most likely in a room filled with 90 persons, 89 of them would take that $10 and leave the 1,000 because we don't value what we have. Our cravings for foreign goods is killing this economy. Sorry to say this. The 364 whatever cars and the 108 legislators and 364 House of Rep members, the cars, 360, right? House of Rep members, the cars, official car, of course, it's their right. Let's not kid ourselves. You can't get to that level in life you don't have an official car. Let's not deceive ourselves. There are things that stays true. But now, my quarrel with, somebody said last week that no automobile industry firm in Nigeria manufactures cars that they only assemble. Why don't we even start patronizing those that are assembling and see how we cannot legislate because whether the Toyota needs to know that Nigeria patronizes more of their cars, because Prado, Lexus, what is now in vogue that the FCT minister is using is the Lexus 600 cell, the auto, the bulletproof. Now, can't we legislate?
It's about 350 million.
It's not about the price.
Yeah, but
it's
you not check the how much will be converted
That is where I'm coming to.
To get the dollar equivalent.
So it put pressure on Naira. It keeps putting pressure. We've not talked about school fees, funding, foreign education. We have not talked about travelers. This August, most of my friends went to UK, some to Dubai. Then some, those who couldn't afford, went to South Africa here. And this put pressure because the demand for dollar will increase. And it put pressure on Naira. And Naira will keep depreciating. Naira will keep depreciating. How the likes of Dr. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan's administration was able to muzzle it down on dollar and stable Naira for 185 to 189 per dollar is still a miracle.
Then you look at the indicators then, how many were unemployed. They're not as much as we have now. How many, in terms of population size, not as much as now. So there are, it comes with some bit of variables.
No,
in terms
more
of
Nigerians are leaving the country now. More Nigerians are leaving the country.
Yeah, but fortunately,
what do they call it? This local slang, Jakba. Yes.
Yeah, those that are leaving are actually the ones that are doing well.
That is it.
So that
is it.
You see someone who is at the helm of affairs here in his organization is now a steward in supermarket abroad.
Well, for such persons,
yes,
they have their choices to make. But we are losing the best of our hands, professionals. We're losing them. We're losing them fastly. We need something to be done urgently. Very soon, what you will have in this country will be carcass.
No, it won't get to that point. The economic team
what
is
makes
working.
you think I'm not ready to leave this country if the opportunities are available on the table for me?
To go and do what?
If it requires me to go and wear uniform as a security man out there. Because what do we really live for?
In the cold.
You said?
you wear uniform in the cold there.
What do we really live
then
for?
You spend so many hours standing.
See,
like a statue.
You don't understand.
We need to encourage ourselves.
How?
We are
you just saw very recently, I got very depressed. An office that is not constitutionally recognized. You may be morally right, but it's not constitutionally recognized. 1.5 billion naira is being budgeted for vehicles, for God's sake. What has gone wrong with us?
For 4 years, actually.
Yeah?
It's for 4 years.
For 4 years?
Yes, and they're actually going to pay. It's not for free. It's actually not for free. They have a way of paying back, and that we have also find out. If they are leaving, you don't go with the car. If you want to go with the car, the accountant come and check the value of the car, and then you pay.
You look at the scrap value then.
Yeah, and then you pay, and that's how it is.
And then you go with it because the person coming to take over from you will not use those cars.
That's the point. Even the furniture,
they will not use them.
So, but how can we solve this?
So, are we not bleeding with
How
this?
can we solve this?
Are we not bleeding with
We need to
this?
solve it. How can we solve it?
How can we solve it? We need our attitude to change. We need reorientation. We need to begin to develop certain kind of patriotism and loyalty to a nation. This nation is bleeding, as it were. We need to change our mentality. We just need to change our mentality. The last election that just passed now this weekend, we saw the way things were done. It's still the same normal. No difference. It's not a do or die to lead a country or to lead a state. No, it should not be. Politics should not be such that it's attractive. It should be a place where you come to render service. It should be a place where you are coming to come and say, okay, this country has given so much to me. Let me now give back to the country. I don't know if I'm communicating, sir. We need to start making sacrifices. Mr. President told all of us to start making sacrifices. And making sacrifices, if you have 10 light bulbs in your house, put 3 on, switch off the remaining 7. If you are consuming so much when it has to do with fuel, reduce the places you go to per time. These are sacrifices. And then be very ready. As I like what the FCT minister has done. If you don't have tax clearance, you have no business. I don't know if I'm communicating. You have no business with any of their agencies, FCDA agency. With that, your tax is available. You've paid your tax to government, and government should now create an enabling environment. Our budgetary processes should not be about consumption. Should be about infrastructural development, industrialization. We need to be very aggressive. I was listening to somebody the other time. He said, if you're talking about IT, you go to the Indians. We're talking about manufacturing, you go to China. What are we known for? Oil? Now the Niger Delta boys will not allow us to rest. It's a mono economy that we have. What else outside? What chemicals do we take out of this country? What is available as an export for us as a country? What? And the crave for, I don't know if recently you have seen situations where people, agents
I actually wanted also to look at, having established what these challenges are,
yes.
How can we just solve it and then we're done with it? Change of attitude, yes, but who is going to lead in the change of attitude?
From the head. From the head. See, it's a body language Mr. President will evince now. Everyone will sit up. They say body language Mr. President will show. Then it will be business as usual. The head determines how every other person will act. Just imagine with me if it's Peter Obi that is president of Nigeria. You would see some attitudinal change.
He would definitely be dealing with civil servants. Some of these things, they look easy, but there are those who, especially, he cannot be in all the ministries. He's going to appoint a minister,
yes.
And the minister is going to work with civil servants, directors. It is not even the making of the politician.
Mr. Kadiri.
I was thinking we are going to look at what civil servant should know and do. The civil servant, they are the contractors. You and I know. The contractors, what do you call it now? Quotation they endorse is the man that gets the job. Before you quote, for any business, you must know a director, a PAMSEC.
Yes,
is that what is done elsewhere?
I don't even want to talk about the civil service.
It's not about
that's a center of corruption. That is a center of corruption. We have seen some civil servants, when their houses were busted, you see the tons of dollars. The other time, the money that was, I don't want to mention names, the money that was recovered from an officer who was in charge of a financial institution, monies recovered from his house. You wonder, what was this man going to do with this whole of money? This whole lot of money. Like I said, once we can change our attitude, our disposition, we'll start getting it right. The civil servant is working, is in the public space. There should be an agency where such persons can be reported. But this The civil servant they are not issues when we're talking about Naira fall.
They are part of it. Look at you.
They are part of it.
You talked about the body language.
Yes. Yes.
That is a circular that if you spend 8 years as a director, you should leave. There are people that have spent twice that years as a director, they are still there. But with this person, what happened?
No, just recently, a lot of them were with
that circular came into existence.
False, yes.
If you have spent more than that, we have seen that the civil service now is empty. Those that are below have come up.
Yes.
There's a need to replace the gaps.
Yes.
Now, if you look at the FCT itself, there are those who are in charge of critical
infrastructures.
Yes, of the FCT. But what do they do? For example, with the urban mass, instead of you to put those vehicles on the road so that commuters can easily move from one point to another, what happened? They rent it out to some organizations. But the minister came and said, if I catch you, you are, in fact, before he even caught them, he sacked them.
Yes.
So it is about, what you said is about the body language. You talked about the fact again of somebody picked so much dollars from the CBN. That was not given by the former president.
It was political connection.
You understand? It was given by a civil servant.
No, some of these businessmen we have in Nigeria that are being celebrated in the group have some clients they will be functioning. Nobody will look at them. They are economic thieves. They are criminals. Sorry to say. You take advantage, or you want to have a monopoly of the market. Every industry, every economy, competition is what brings the best. Having a monopoly in an economy, it's not business. In some climes, you will not be recognized as a businessman. You are a government contractor, an extension of the government officials. That's why this person was able to get that. Somebody made a call. Clearance were given. Yeah,
but the civil servant to tell him if you can call social person. So it's about the whole thing.
I don't know what played out.
The civil servant will say, a doctor, you know, this issue is simple, but if you can talk to the chief of staff, we can do it for you.
You see, if we want to talk about
if you can talk to the SGF, we can do it for you.
If we want to talk about Nigeria,
if you can talk to the Minister of Finance, it can be done for you. So it's about the civil servant telling contractors how to go about, shortchanging the economy.
See, Mr. Kadiri, if we want to talk about Nigeria, too many things is wrong with this country. I'm sorry to say this. Too many things is wrong with this country. We pride ourselves in luxuries. We pride ourselves in wasteful living. We're not ready yet as a country. See, if we are ready, there are situations that we'll begin to start tackling and dealing with them with all the force. Muzzle it down on those who think they are gladiatorials in certain line of business. Muzzle it down on them and ensure. There was a time we heard that the power generation cannot be in this country because those who import generator or that they will not allow their business to
sabotage the effort.
So they were kept sabotaging power generation. It's because a British government was not in place. Ban any form of importation that has to do with a generator cannot be imported into this country.
Yeah, but if you do that, you're going to send many people into the labor market.
We keep talking about labor market. See,
so that's how it is.
No. Listen, we keep talking about labor market. Nations can shut their borders and say, let us look inward. Shut down. If you now have technical partners, let your technical partners fly into the country and do business in the country. We're not ready yet. The problem of Nigeria is homologous. is larger than life.
It's been solved.
It's been solved. You have that faith.
I must thank you for your time. It was
have that faith.
Of course, I mean, we should be hopeful for a better Nigeria.
Well, we believe in this country. We'll keep putting in our best.
Thank you so much. Is United Nations Peace Ambassador, Dr. Nelson Ogbemudia. This is where we wrap up. I must say thank you again.
Thank you, Mr. Kadiri.
Yeah. So with that discussion with Dr. Nelson Ogbemudia, we wrap up today's program this morning on ITV. Tomorrow we'll be here 7 a.m. bright and early to spice up your day. I am Joseph Kadri. Bye for now.